Welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Serpent. We're going to kick off with a very important topic, and a topic that is always comes up. Why is it when Bitcoin price moves, everything moves? Why is Bitcoin dictating the market? Will there ever be a time where a coin is not impacted by Bitcoin? And so a top crypto analyst sees another Bitcoin collapse on the horizon. And it's interesting because this particular analyst goes on to talk about what's going on at the moment, and that the lacking of strength in its trades between the range of 30 and 40. It talks about where could it go, and it talks about the Fibonacci, and if we look over here, what he's saying, it's pretty scary stuff if you're a major Bitcoin holder, which you got to remind yourselves, a lot of people are major Bitcoin holders that you cannot tell them anything apart from Bitcoin. It's like Bitcoin. And a lot of old school investors and funds and everything go straight for Bitcoin. They don't even look at any others. Like, oh, the biggest, I'll go for that one. And so what we're talking about here is, okay, so let's say Bitcoin does go and collapses and hits 20,000, right? A level. Sometime in the third quarter, this analyst predicted that. And if that were to be the case, will there come a time where certain coins break away from the Bitcoin dominance? So they go into their own path and are no longer dictated by what Bitcoin does. And I want to leave it to you, right? So I want to kick off with this particular question to you at the start of this, because it is an important question, because there will, I believe, and this is my personal opinion, is that there will come a time where certain coins will no longer be dictated by how well Bitcoin does or does not do. And I'll go even further and say that the day that Bitcoin is no longer number one, which it will come a time, and I really struggle with the concept of not genuinely believing that statement. There will come a time where Bitcoin will no longer be number one. I really do see the price of it dropping severely, temporarily, and then eventually it will kick off again and, perhaps be a number 3 or a number 4 or a number 5 in the world. But the day that it's no longer number one, when that day comes, it will plummet, and it will plummet really fast before it recovers again. Now, that's my opinion, and I'd love to know your feedback on this topic. Again, in the interest of drawings, right? This is where social media can sometimes be, it can be quite dangerous as a tool. Same as, using channels like these to get your information, right? Here we have a classic example where a drawing has been made, somebody trying to justify that this particular wedge is now forming, and then eventually the price will drop, and it will drop down into the 40s or 50 cents. Now, everything on here, on every social media platform, doesn't matter how many followers, how many people, doesn't matter who I am, it doesn't matter even if I knew the cousin of somebody who worked at XRP. Don't trust just us, right? Take the information, but take it with a pinch of salt, and then do your own research and back it up. I cannot stress that enough. I talk about it every single video. I've been talking about it since the start of the channel. It's educational purposes based on my opinion, and I can and will be wrong. It's only natural, and so can every other person on social media. So always back it up with your own research. Always. And sometimes we think the same, and I do thank you all so much for following the channel. I do believe, though, when we look at charts like this, that we are heading back into the launch pad, which is where the price will sit there for a little bit before we take off and break previous all-time records. Now, the World Bank, IMF, and United Nations launch a retail digital currency challenge to enhance financial inclusion. Now, I like these sort of things because there is a big push at the moment for blockchain mass adoption, and competitions like these and challenges like these are really good. And below is a full list of a set of partners in the challenge. So we're talking some major players, major players here in the marketplace that are going to be part of this particular development and this particular challenge. And the reason why I'm showing you this is because adoption is happening around the world every single day when it comes to blockchain, and things like these are just a reminder of why it is so crucial to be pro blockchain. We focus too much on the price of what a coin is today and not the challenge and the problem that that particular blockchain solves. I mean, we're creatures of habits. Of course, when the prices are down, we think, the whole project is going to collapse. Now, obviously yesterday, it was amazing, the video went live and like literally a couple of minutes later, the price started to move into the 70s. But we're not out of it just yet. Okay. So there is definitely the opportunity and the chance that, a price correction, could take place, and we're going to be prepared for that because we're coming into a critical zone, and that critical zone is between 75 and 83. Now, failure to break out of there, then we will go backwards. So be on the lookout for that for sure. Now, I've covered that one off already. And this, again, when it comes to social media, again, a classic example, and not to pick on people, but information like this can really, really confuse somebody. Somebody out there might be buying $10 worth of XRP because they're like, or they might be buying 10 XRPs because they're like, oh, cool, it's going to go to 589 and I'll just wait and 10 should be enough. We're not even at 3 yet. Let's not talk about 10. Let's talk about 10 because I believe 10, 20 is very achievable in 2021. But when we start talking about 50, 589s and things like that, there are so many things that got to go right for that to take place. And I just feel that messages like these can sometimes be too simplistic and misleading just by having just that statement alone. Like for a 589 XRP, a lot of things are going to go right. So just be on the lookout. Again, take everything, pinch of salt, do your own research and back it up. So don't forget, Carney did all the work, implemented Ripple technology whilst at BOE. We successfully integrated the Ripple solution with 2 simulated RTGS systems, only a matter of time. And remember, XRP already has been deemed a non-security by the FCA in the UK. And had the little emoji there. And what I'm showing you here is that I know that sometimes America can feel like America is literally the only country in the world. But I want to reassure you that a lot of nations around the world are so pro XRP that it's not even funny. And that they don't deem it a security at all. So Ripple XRP does not need America, does not need the SEC's approval at all to be a major player in the marketplace and to break its previous all-time high. Just want to make sure you guys are aware of that. And the other news that has come in is that Ripple partner Access Bank partners with AWS to power its digital banking transactions. Very, very bullish, very positive news on that front as well. Let's jump into Atani. Let's see what some of the indicators are telling us today. Okay, so when we look inside Atani and we look at the daily, on the daily chart we have broken, and we've broken into a bullish trend, which is very, very nice on the MACD. The RSI sort of sitting, towards the bottom still, so plenty of room to grow. And when we look at the Bollinger Band, we can see that the Bollinger Band is sort of sitting towards the bottom of it. But on the daily, it looks pretty good. But let's wait and see. Let's jump into the hourly. How do we look on the hourly? On the hourly, we went out sharp down outside of the Bollinger Band, and then we've sort of come back in very, very quickly. But we were on the hourly on the oversold. Now, the hourly sometimes can be a little bit contradicting. So when we look at the 4 hour, we were outside of the Bollinger Band from a bullish perspective, but we're still on the 4 hour in a very much a bullish trend. We look at 12 hours, we are bullish. So for me, unless we see Bitcoin take a nosedive over the next couple of hours, the signals at the moment and the indicators determine that we are still very much in a bullish trend. Again, indicators, but you don't never know what news comes out or what can come out of the woodwork. So just be mindful of that when it comes to new indicators, because the indicator will not tell you a news. When the news breaks out, all indicators go out the window. So just always be on the lookout for that. Let's have a look at some drawings. Let's see what they tell us. All right, so we kick off with this one here because I want to make sure you guys are aware that we are in a particular zone. And this particular zone will be around that 85, 90 cents mark. And when we break from there, it will begin a trajectory to go towards 350 to 450. Now, you can see this sort of channel. I'm predicting that this particular channel here will be the new channel that forms, will be the bullish channel that breaks its previous, XRP's previous all-time high. So be on the lookout for that. Let's see how it goes. very similar to what Bitcoin's going to do here. So there's going to be that type of movement, and it will make a move towards 40,000. 40,000 is going to be really, really, really important thing to break for BTC. Now, again, we could test the 65 cents. And I want you to be aware of that, because failure to break at the 80 cents mark, then we will be dropping back down. Now, I don't think we're going to drop back down to previous levels. So every time we're making higher highs, not higher lows. So we're making higher highs. So I'm thinking we could maybe go down to 65 cents. So if you miss the first, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the seventh, and the eighth chance to get Ripple XRP tokens at a good price, then maybe 65 cents may be on the lookout for you, and bless you with some new opportunities to get into the market. And again, it's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm just calling it how it is. How many more opportunities do you want before they run out? Now, after that, we got 78 cents as a support, and then 89 cents is the biggest one. The resistance 2 is a much bigger resistance. So again, look out for that. Again, the price needs to go out of this, and once we go out of there, then I think, we will be in this particular window, so it'll be really interesting to see how we perform. So resistance at the 89, resistance at $1, resistance at $1.39, and resistance at $1.97. Once we break out of $1.97 and retest $1.97, we're off to new all-time highs. Bigger picture, of course, nothing changes. 10, 12, extremely possible 14, all not out of the picture for 2021, and that is just based on my own research. Where we'll probably go? We'll probably go 14 and then have a nice retrace back. And with that, and by then, I will be bringing to you some of my feedback and some of what I will be taking, the kind of actions that I will be taking in the marketplace. And I'll be happy to show you those as well when I do, just in case you guys, from a full transparency point of view, like, did you really sell? Are you just telling us that you sold, but you really didn't? I will actually do that for you. But for me, I have my own goals, my own targets set, and I stick by them. But of course, not financial advice, and I'm not you. And of course, if you take profit at 4, profit at 5, profit at 3, by all means, at the end of the day, it's your call. And I'll say something that I haven't said in a while. It's not your profit until you take it out. And I'll repeat that. It's not your profit until you take it out. And a lot of people learned that lesson in April. Until you take out profit, it's not your money. It's not your profit. So always be taking profits. Now, if you did learn something new today, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. As always, thank you. And I look forward to see you on the next one.